Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Please hit that like button as you come in. I'm just putting that in the chat. Please hit that like button. I am going to give you guys some time to come in. And I'm just going to put the countdown on for 1 minute, but please hit that like button as you come in. Thank you, guys. Okay, hello everyone. Hi everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button as you guys come in. We have lots to talk about, so make sure you hit that like button. There's a lot happening in the streets of Huntsville, and we are going to get into it. But in the meantime, everyone, thank you so much for joining this evening or this afternoon. How is everyone doing? Can you put in the chat what you're drinking? Let us know in the chat what you guys are drinking. For me, I have some water here today, and I have my matcha green tea. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys are drinking. How are you feeling? How has your day been? Actually, I've had the best day ever. So if you guys notice how excited I am, that's because I've had such a wonderful, very productive day. It's one of the most productive days that I've had in a few weeks. And so I'm just like really grateful to God. I'm really excited just to have that productivity. So, but yeah, guys, please hit that like button. The likes are not matching the amount of people in today's live. So please hit that like button and let me know what you are drinking in the chat. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat. I'm having a matcha green tea. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, mojito to start the day. Shout out to the mojito. I love a good mojito, I'm not gonna lie. I love me a very, very good mojito. Like nothing like a mojito. I love me some like passion fruit mojito, a guava mojito. I went to Mexico I think it was like about 2 years ago. And I had one of the best mojitos I've ever had. I had a guava mojito and it was so delicious. Like I could go back to Cancun for that mojito. I'm not gonna lie. It was so good. And I don't know if in the UK it's not really a thing, like doing mojitos and not doing mojitos. I mean doing what's it called? Guava mojitos. Usually when you go to the store or when you go to places, they tell you they have a maybe like a strawberry daiquiri or like a regular mojito. Or if they're trying to be nice, maybe a good passion fruit mojito or strawberry mojito. But I've never had a guava mojito in London. So low key, I'm like ready to ready to go back to Cancun for that mojito, just that guava mojito. Tommy is drinking orange juice. Tommy be like different from the rest of us. Like I think last time Tommy was drinking hot chocolate. So at least she's drinking some orange juice. Is it like freshly squeezed or is it from the store? Ooh, Scorpio Queen is having a lemon drop. Okay. I've never had a lemon drop before, but I know that's a very, very popular drink. So maybe I need to get myself a lemon drop. Guys, how many likes do we have in this chat? We have 68 people here. Actually, it now says 57. So I don't know if I'm reading things, but please let's hit that like button, smash it, hit it. Ooh, a margarita. Okay. All right. Not mad at you at all. A lime bubbly. Okay. That sounds delish. Super 3701 says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's so good to see you over here. I hope you had a wonderful day. You're drinking water. Water is always good. Look here, I don't feel like I've even had enough water today, so I need to get me some extra water after the kind of day that I've had. But yeah, I need to get me some water. So I'm with you on that. And from the store, oh, okay. You have a sweet tooth. Oh, girl, don't remind me. Look here, I've been thinking of you know what has me in chokehold? Banana bread. Maybe I'm late to the party because apparently a lot of people were eating banana bread during COVID. I found out about banana bread la- this year in Canada. I was in Canada earlier this year and I tried banana bread and it's had me in chokehold since. Like I was thinking about it yesterday, and the one place where I ordered it from was closed. I was so annoyed. Like, where is my banana bread? What the hell is going on? But yeah, I really need to get in my bag with that banana bread. Maybe I need to make it, but I'm not very like I'm not one of those people that are very good at like baking. Actually, I take that back. I was good at baking as a kid, but then I haven't baked anything in years, so I don't really know what I'm on, basically. Okay, Tommy is saying we have 27 likes, so please hit that like button as you come in. Let's try and get the likes up to 50 at least, please, guys. So please hit that like button. It's a free way to support the channel. I know sometimes it can be hard to like hit that like button because low key, you begin engrossed in the conversation. Sometimes I'm like supporting like my favorite people, and I have to go first to double check that I hit the like button because low key, sometimes you forget, right? So please hit that like button as you come in. Okay, so let's start with what you want to hear about, okay? Because I feel like we've talked about what we're all drinking and the tea is piping hot, okay? So now where's my banner first? Because that banner is very important for what I am about to say. Okay, where is my banner? Okay. Everything I say is alleged in my own opinion only for entertainment purposes only. So, with that big disclaimer out there, I do not know the validity, the truthfulness of all of this. This is something that someone is saying, was told to her. Okay, so let's just put that huge, massive disclaimer out there before I say what it is that I got to say. Because we're not playing over here. We are making it clear that we are not the source. Okay. Now, I will say, first of all, shout out to Empress Radio and On the Rocks with Jada because that's where I got these the news from. Um, but basically, there's allegedly a content creator called Marcella who used to be very close with Miss Wanda. And apparently now they have falling out. So I don't know what's happening in the palace, but it sounds like things have gone left between the people. Hey, Kathy. Hope you're good. Oh, look at you in that DP. You look so nice. Come on, hair. Okay, sorry, guys. But Kathy looks good. All right. So when like I said, I've put the whole disclaimer out there. You all know what we're on. But allegedly, her, Marcella and Miss Wanda used to be cool. Okay. They used to be tight, they used to be cool, but now it feels like something has happened. They ain't cool no more. It feels like there is war in the hood. Okay. And apparently it's like it's exposure time because people are telling it all. So what is being said is that Marcella is basically saying Miss Wanda needs to stop talking about her or else she will expose all of the family secrets. And this is the thing. It's like we in general, we all have to be careful who we spill our guts to, because I don't necessarily feel bad for Miss Wanda because, you see all the things she does when it comes to melody and everybody really. So I don't necessarily feel bad. But what I'm saying is you got to be careful in general. This is a general principle. You got to be careful who you spill your guts to because it may come back to bite you in the A. And if you know you've spilled secrets to somebody, can you not fall out with them? It's just common sense. If you know they know where the bones are buried, then why would you fall out of friendship with them? How many likes do we have? Because we have 72 people in the chat. Tell me, how many likes do we have? Let's know if the likes are matching. So, my thing is like, of all the people that you can fall out with, if you know this person knows where the bones are buried, this person knows all the secrets that aren't in these YouTube streets, and the person is a YouTuber, which means they had the opportunity to spill it all, but out of loyalty to you, they didn't say nothing. And so if you think about it in that way, it's like the audacity to actually then fall out with someone like that. It's like, girl, if anybody had all my secrets, I would be like, I ain't saying nothing. We gonna be cool forever. Now it says there's 93 people watching, so please hit that like button, everybody. It's a free way to support the channel. Please hit that like button. I would be thinking like, yo, you know where the bones are buried, you know where the people are. I'm not doing nothing to y'all. Guys, okay, we need to talk. Do y'all like this channel or not? Because 93 people are in the chat and we only have 31 likes. So guys, please, let's keep it going. Let's hit it. Let's hit it, smash it. Let's get the likes up to at least 70, please. So please smash that like button. Thank you very much. Okay, so my thing is like, if I know that this person ain't checking for me like that or knows where the bones are buried and like now things are not going well between us, I would be like, I would not say ish about them. I would keep it mute and cute. But it feels like, I guess Miss Wanda is like, nah, I'm not, even if you know nothing, that will mean nothing. But yeah, now I would have kept it hush hush if I know that someone knows something about me that can be that serious to be brought into the YouTube streets. Now, so apparently this is what was said. Allegedly, she is claiming that Wanda said that she caught her son-in-law with that white stuff. You all know what the white stuff is? You all know what that white stuff is. So I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm sure you guys know what that is. Apparently, he was all up in that nose candy, allegedly. Right? And apparently, this was happening in a certain establishment that you guys know what it's called. Like I said, you see my banner, it's all alleged. But apparently, that is what was happening allegedly. Right? So apparently now it gets worse. It gets worse. Believe it or not, it gets worse. But before I get into it, let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. So Yo Campbell says, I'm eating some banana bread now. Yummy. Oh, you are rubbing it in. Where is the banana bread from? Let me know so that I can know if I need to get some banana bread from somewhere up in the US when next I'm in the US. So let me know so I can arrange to go where the banana bread is. Or did you make it yourself? Because if you made it yourself, now you're just rubbing it in. Joanna Alexander says, guards. Okay. The guards need to step in because I don't know what's happening in the palace, but order. That's what we need over here. Order needs to be in there. Super 3701 says, I always hit the like button when I comment. These are the people I love, Super is like, I'm gonna make sure I hit that like button to make sure Let's all get in there. And I'm like, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Everyone, please hit that like button. Take it as a sign. Hit that like button. Let the likes be matching the amount of people in here. I don't want to have to beg for likes, honey. So, but please hit that like button. Actually, I'm begging y'all. Please hit that like button, okay? All right. So back to this whole craziness. So apparently, a certain man loves the nose candy, allegedly. Allegedly. And I'm just like, that is such a serious allegation. And apparently, this person is saying that Miss Wanda told her that is what was said. Apparently, she caught him right there with the white stuff. So I'm just like, I do not know what to believe. I do not know what to believe. It's very, very shocking. Like when I was thinking about what I had planned for the day and what I had to talk about for the day, this was the last thing that I was even thinking would come out, to be honest. It really is like I'm completely shocked. I know, like, I was not expecting anything about no nose candy was going to be talked about. And out of everybody that it could have been said about, like freaking Marsau. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a little delusional, but I'm quite surprised, to be honest. Like, of course, I don't know what nobody does in their private time, but I don't know. I wouldn't have really expected that from Marceau, but maybe I'm too trusting because I didn't expect what happened to Wendy and Eddie as well. I was very shocked. So I don't know. Maybe I'd be too trusting with these people. So Super said this just proves the rumors about him from 3 years ago. I always believed it anyway. Oh, really? Super. So what rumor was it? Was the rumor about nose candy as well? Or is this completely the first time? What was the rumor? Was the rumor about the cheating? So the only rumor that I've heard about him, as far as I remember, would be the cheating allegations. I don't think I've ever covered anything to do with the white candy ever. So, but I think that would be interesting. Hi, Laurie Belle. Hope you're good. Hello, hello. Tommy says we have 61 likes, so please keep hitting that button. The tea is hot. Yes, please. Let's get the likes up to 75. Please, get. I'm not even though there are 90 something people in here, I'm not even asking for 90 something. Let's let it just hit 70 something for now, please. All right. Miss Wanda's mouth is too loose, sis. If I could put this on a plaque, I would. It is absolutely too loose. There's no reason for you to be talking like that about. There's no reason for you to be talking like that about your son-in-law, ma'am. Never. There's no, even if that is the truth, you have a conversation with your daughter and you shut it down after that. There is no reason to be having such a private, sensitive conversation with a blogger. I don't understand why people feel that, like, don't get me wrong, Marcella, of course, did not say anything about it for a while or whatever, and until now that things aren't well with them and stuff. But at the same time, why why do these people continue to have conversations with bloggers about private ish? I think that for me, that's the surprising part. It just reminded me of when Arian Corey was always having conversations with an original straightener chaser. I'm just like, sis is a blogger. What do you expect would happen eventually? It's like, I never understand that. It's just like, becoming this and like getting into fun stuff or whatever. Like, those are the kind of things you talk to bloggers about. The fun stuff, the things you want to get out in public, you know? The things you want to get out in public is what you should be talking to them about, not things that can be detrimental when they come out, right? Not things that can be detrimental, right? And I think this is a huge allegation. This can be detrimental. So I don't feel like this is the kind of thing that you have conversations with a blogger about. You don't confide in a blogger about things like this. Like, it's too loose. There has to be boundaries. And it's just like, why don't, is it that y'all don't have friends that aren't bloggers? Like, don't you have like just regular people, regular schmegler that aren't bloggers that you can tell this kind of tea to? Or like your family members that are trustworthy that you can tell these kind of things to? Why do you lot go to bloggers and then hope for anonymity? I can't even say the word. Anonymity. Why do you do that? It's just like, it's too loose. Right? Don't get me wrong. There are some people that, for me, I come over here on this channel, I do my thing and I go home. Right? There's a reason for that. I don't get involved in no shenanigans because I'm like, I don't even want nobody to be like, we talked about this, we ain't talked about nothing. So I just think it's so important, like, shut your mouth and like preserve. It's not everything that you want to say that you say. Sometimes maybe write it down. Maybe like write it in your journal, honey. Write it in your journal, keep quiet about it. If you must tell somebody, tell your daughter, since she already knows about it probably. So have those kind of conversations. You don't need to be telling third parties. There's no reason for all of that. Hey, Sandra Johnson. Hello, you are welcome. You're welcome. Super says, I don't care how she feels about Marsau. She doesn't have respect for her daughter. Absolutely, because if you had respect for your daughter, you will not be out here talking about your daughter's husband's business, truth or false. It doesn't matter. This is not a conversation that should have been brought out to anybody. It should not have been. Absolutely should not have been. There's no reason for you to be talking to anybody about it, more or less, not to talk of a blogger. That is just it. I think one lesson, and this is coming from a blogger, one lesson is like, yo, be careful who you speak to about ish, right? Don't think that you can treat someone a certain way and they will not retaliate. Some people are going to take it straight to hell. If you go low, they take it straight to hell. So that's just what it is. The rumor was that Africa meant 30 days in a rehab facility. Now, it's interesting you say that because that is what I was about to say. Because according to Empress Radio, apparently there were rumors that when Marsau allegedly traveled to Africa, it wasn't actually real, it was just a front for the rehab. Um and I'm just like, if that's the case, like, I hope he got the help that he needed. If it's really true, I hope he got the help that he needed. Because the thing is, addiction is a very, very serious issue. And like, I just think whatever the case may be, hopefully he got the help that he needed. If truly it is true. Do I hope it's not true and it's just, it's just like disadvantage of like Wanda and Marcella not being cool? I would hope so. But if it is true, then I hope he got the help that he needs. And I hope that he's, completely free and clean. Okay, so Tommy says 72 likes. Thank you. Please keep hitting that like button as you come in. So, guys, it's 134 of us in here. So please hit that like button. Let's not have 72 likes if there's like 134 of us in here. So please, guys, hit that like button. Let's at least get it up to, if it's 134 of us, let's at least get it up to like 100. Okay, so it's now 146 people. So let's get it up to like 120 likes, please. So yeah, just smash the like button, please. It's a free way to support not just me, but other content creators that do very similar things to what I do. All right. So You guys have heard it from Tommy. She's like 86 likes. Please keep hitting that like button as you come in. Let's get to 100 likes, please. The queen has spoken. So let's hit that like button. Please and thank you. If you're tired of hearing me talk about hitting that like button, you might as well hit it so I don't have to talk about it again. Ah. Ooh, that is a very interesting point, Denise. I completely forgot about it. That is a very, very interesting point. So Denise is saying if the addiction thing is true, they had a lot of nerve dogging Kiki. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you hit the nail right on the head. Cause imagine it is true. Imagine it is true. That is crazy. Imagine it's true and they dogged Kiki out like that. Then they would be absolutely disgusting, bottom of the barrel, if that is really true. Because imagine dogging somebody out who is on the right road, who is in recovery, and then to then find out that you're also living in addiction. Mm-mm-mm. I would like to hope it's not true because that would be that would be really low. That would be very hypocritical if that's what you're really on, and then you're out here like being like, oh, that would be very, very hypocritical. Absolutely hypocritical. So I really hope for their sakes that that's not what it is, and it's just a whole giant misunderstanding, and it's not true. Because yes, it did not age well at all. Dogging her out did not age well at all. Super says the whole thing is scandalous. Absolutely. It is very scandalous. And it's like, what is why? Like I just don't know. It's like Miss Wanda, it's just like, why did you ever feel comfortable disclosing that kind of information? Like, if this is true, it's like, why? How did you feel so comfortable? How do people get that comfortable? I don't tell my business to nobody. It's like, how do you sit down and get that comfortable that you're telling somebody something as serious as that, and they're not your family? It's like, that is, and even your family, you have to still be watching them before you can tell them something as serious as that. So yeah, the whole thing is very scandalous. And it's just like, I just don't know why she would ever feel comfortable saying that out of her mouth. This is the problem with people that don't have filter. The problem is when you don't have a filter, right? Anything and everything comes out of that mouth. You just say stuff and then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But you said it out so quickly, and it's like now you can't walk it back. And it's like, before you're opening your mouth to say certain things, you have to be very, very careful. It's not everything you say, because now saying certain things could have serious repercussions, right? And so it's just very, very sad. I feel like, yeah, this did not age well at all. I don't even know why that is like, yeah, I don't even know. I can't even imagine the level of comfortability she must have felt if she truly told Marcella that. Like, that level of comfortability, may I never experience such, where I'm so comfortable enough that I'm opening my mouth to say something like something as serious as that. These aren't just regular people. These are people on a TV show. What happens if, for instance, the person was recording and so had everything on tape and then decided to post the recording? It's all over. It's like, now nobody's going to believe that they are innocent, and he is not addicted and all of that if there's a recording, right? I'm not saying there is a recording. I'm just saying that, like, these are the kind of things that I would be thinking about before I open my mouth, really. Tommy says, I think Wanda is just a clout chaser. Yeah, I do think she has clout chasing ways. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like for instance, the reason I feel like she has clout chasing ways is she's always, you can see the times as or the timing of when she goes live to talk about things, like anything that involves melody. It's almost like when maybe potentially she's not really getting as much clout as she wants to normally. She's not really getting as much attention normally. And so she's like, yo, how can I change this up? How can I get the attention I'm not getting? And guess what? And then she starts moving mad, really, right? So I definitely think she is a clout chaser. That's just who she is. I think that she is always talking about something to do with something. And it's just like, you have so much venom for other people, but then when other people have that venom for your daughter, not even a fraction of the kind of venom you have for them, if they had a fraction of the venom that you give to people on social media towards your daughter, you would have lost your mind trying to fight people. So yeah, I just think, yeah, I agree, she's a clout chaser. Hi everyone, replay watching. Okay, girl. Maybe watch it on like 2x so you can join us at the end, LB. She also said Wanda has talked to her about her daughter. Oh, oh my god, super. What did she specify? What Wanda said about Tisha? Oh my gosh. The plot thickens, guys. The plot thickens. Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm. Like, did she say super? Did she say what Wanda said about her daughter? That's what I wonder. Because if she said that, it's like, yo, mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. My lady said, I hope that I never ever have a friend like Marcella. You have to be careful of the dog who carries the bone. Mm-mm. In the words of Portia's mama, be careful of the dog who carries the bone. Or the dog who brings you a bone will carry one too. Something like that. But yeah, I completely get what you mean, because I'm not being funny, but it's like, yo, for me, anytime I see somebody expose somebody who they were friends with or anything, for me it just lets me know, like, yo, I can't even say nothing to you, nothing private to you, because if we're no longer cool, everything will be for public consumption. So yeah, I definitely get what you mean, sis. I definitely get what you mean, because yeah, I'm very very careful about like friends. When I have friends that are constantly talking to me about stuff, about other people's stuff, I'm like, okay, point to note. Don't tell this person nothing, because they are going to take your business to the same people that they're coming to talk to you about. So, yeah. No, I saw her say that on live, no details. She said, Wanda better be careful or she'll spill it. Okay. Enough said. She is like, unless you say something, I ain't say, mm-mm. Wanda, if I were you, miss, I will keep it hush hush. I'm not saying nothing. I will not speak on it. I will not speak on her, because if she has all of that detail, I will not be surprised. Now, I'm not saying she has recordings. I don't know the lady, but I'm saying, like, if I were you, I would be careful, because you don't even know if she has recordings, honey. Because she may play you in 4K, baby, and you will be shocked. So if you best be careful. I will say nothing. I will not speak on her. I will not say a thing. Especially if you have spoken about your daughter to her, I would be extremely careful about saying anything. Because if everything's going to be spilt, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I will, like, if anyone even asked me about her, I'd be like, no, no, don't speak to me about her. That would be the end of it, because I would not want my business out there on Front Street like that. Especially because it's like, if it comes out enough and it's all over social media, then Carlos would have no other thing to do than to put it in the show. And if he puts it in the show, guess what's going to happen? More people will be talking about it. Although that being said, I'm sure they can still deny it unless there is some sort of proof, visual evidence of some sort. And if there's even visual evidence, they may say it's cleaning products. You never know these people. I feel like they're going to lie about anything. So I don't see them admitting to anything anyway. So yeah. But yeah, guys, please hit that like button. Welcome to the stream. To those who have just come in, we are talking about the news in the YouTube streets about Marsau allegedly from the mouth of Marcella. And apparently things aren't going well between Marcella um Wanda. So the tea is being exposed. Let's just say that. Hit that like button and catch the replay, please. Um Tommy, how many likes do we have now in the just drop in the chat. Let's know how many likes we have. Um hey Nanny of the Maroons, hey reviews and recaps mods in chat. Hello, hope you're good. Both of these ladies are troublemakers. They are looking for fresh meat to keep up the mess. A damn shame at their age. Oh my gosh. I'm not really familiar with Marcella, but maybe I'll like go have a look and see what she's about. But yeah, I definitely know Wanda. Wanda is always talking about something. There's always a live about something, a live saying, addressing something. There is always something. And she always says things like any opportunity is always an opportunity to try to dog out Miss Melody, in my opinion. And so I'm not surprised that she's a troublemaker, in my opinion. It just feels very much like there's always something. It's like, guys, can we just get along and be happy? Like, what is going on? But anyway, so yeah. Okay, so I feel like with the whole Wanda and Marcella thing, we'll have to just wait and see how things pan out. I am hoping that like it doesn't get worse than this because I'm just like, how worse can he get? Like, I didn't think nothing about no white candy. And so it's just like, how bad can it really get if he already got this way? But then if she has said things about her daughter, I guess that really would be a new low. Oh, Charlene said Marcella is the CC who said Melody is a witch. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I guess that answers it. I did not know that. Wow. I did not know that. I'm guessing so that means like her and Wanda must have been really, really in the ins. They must have been tight at some point. But yeah. Mm-mm. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see like how things pan out between them, like what is going to happen. Is it going to escalate? Well, we don't hope that it escalates because at the end of the day, I don't want anything that would set Tisha um against her mom, right? Like I just I wouldn't want like the demise of anyone's relationship at all. So, yeah. Of course, I hope for the best, but with these parties that are involved, I actually do not know what we're going to get. We'll just have to stay tuned. If there's any updates that I find out about, of course, I will bring it over here so we can talk about it. But for now, this is all I know. Super did not know about. Exactly, I didn't know about this at all. This is also the first time I'm hearing this. So yeah. Well, thanks. This is what I love about our chat, right? We have like a bunch of different people that, it's like somebody gives you a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit of detail here and there. Oh wow. Nanny of the Maroon said calling Mel a witch was one of the nicer things she said about Mel. She talks about Mel like a dog. Oh, wow. This is the thing. You guys be knowing that I be in my own bubble. Unless it gets to the point where like maybe a lot of people are talking about it in my chat or something like I stumble on, I don't be knowing these things. So I do not remember ever even hearing these things. Like, of course, I knew like there's some content creators on YouTube and stuff who don't really see it for Mel, but I didn't really like, I don't put a name to it. I don't really know what these people say and stuff. Wow, if that's one of the nicer things, oh my gosh, don't even know what to say. I'm not a fan of Tisha, but I feel bad for her as a daughter. Wow. Yeah, that is a very, very interesting way to say it. And I'll be very curious to know, why do you feel bad for her as a daughter? Um, the way I personally would think about it would be, I feel like with a mom like Wanda, it would be hard for Tisha to maintain relationship with friends. I say that because all it takes is for Wanda to not like the way someone said something to Tisha. Tisha is a grown woman. She should be able to address her friends, for them to be able to resolve things between each other. It doesn't need to really, it doesn't really need to get that crazy or that bad. There's no need for all of that, right? And so I just feel like sometimes with these kind of things, right, it's just like, yeah, it's just like, my friend may say something, she may not be like thinking about it so deeply in that way. I may forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like friends go through stuff, right? And so sometimes if my friend said something I didn't like, maybe a couple of months later or a year later, we may be cool again. But if my mom has gotten in the middle of it, I said some horrible ish, it would be hard for us to get back together and be cool. And so I feel like Tisha probably struggles with a lot of her friendships because of Miss Wanda. I think Miss Wanda adds fuel to the fire. I think she's always constantly talking and meddling in in Tisha's relationships. And so with someone like that, it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. Very hard. Super said, I said that because her mom does not respect her. Yeah, that much is obvious, because if you respect your daughter, you will not be meddling in her affairs like that. As a grown person, you can say to her, okay, I don't think that person is good for you. I don't think this, I don't think that. That's fine. Anything beyond that, when you're meddling, when you're constantly discussing her marriage, and yeah, all of that is completely unnecessary. And so yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think she respects her. I don't think she respects her marriage. Think about the way that she comes at Marsau. I don't think she respects the marriage. I don't think she respects Tisha in the slightest. Absolutely agree. Um Joyce is drinking beet juice. Okay, Joyce, with the beet juice. Um Yeah, I've never tried beet juice before. I've tried like beet in like salads, but I've never tried it as a juice before. Like, I wonder, is it sweet, or is it more of a like a tangy taste? Because I can't imagine like um beet juice, like just beet by itself. But yeah, Wanda is self-serving. Yep. Very, very self-serving. I think part of it is like, maybe she just likes the drama, because sometimes, you know how there's some people that just love drama. Like, it doesn't matter where the drama is coming from, why the drama is there, they just love drama. They love the attention they get from drama and from causing chaos. And so I wonder if she's also one of those people who are just agents of chaos. They love the attention they get. They love the attention they get from like just causing chaos, causing problems, So yeah, I wonder if it could be one of those as well. Where it's just like, ooh, who can I mess with today? It's like, the you get excitement from messing with people. You get excitement from just causing being being destructive, really. You know? So yeah, I do wonder if it is a little bit of that. Um, but yeah, Tommy says Wanda seems like a controlling mother. Completely agree. I definitely think she is. I think is the way she acts. I think it's very, very obvious that that's what she is, because it's like Tisha may have beef with somebody today. Wanda jumps in. It's like, Wanda, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, can we focus on just me talking to my friend without my mom getting involved? Like, I cannot even, honestly, having a mom like Wanda would have stressed me out. And this is why I guess, you know, she was born and Tisha is her daughter, because I could not deal with a parent like that. I would be stressed every time, stressed all of the time. So yeah. But yeah, I do agree. I think she is controlling. Um Maybe it's a thing of like always seeing Tisha as like her baby that she has to protect. But I'm like, Tisha is not innocent in a lot of these things. Tisha is not innocent. So, like, it's like having a mom that is overbearing and is coming to defend you for chaos that you've created is just very weird to me. Sorry, guys. I just need to drink a little bit of water. I'm thirsty. One second. Oof. I definitely need to. Let me see if I can text my brother to bring me water, because if he's in the house, I need some water. Because I am so thirsty and I just ran out of water. Um, if you are here, sorry guys, I am thirsty and I don't want to just continue to drink the green tea matcha, even though I will be drinking the green tea matcha, but I feel like I wanted to also be drinking water alongside. Anyway, let's move on. I watched Gucci Mane on TBC and he's from Bessemer. And he said it triggers him thinking about it because it's such a dark place and there's no money there. Oh, interesting. Where is Bessemer? Bessemer? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it well. Where is that? And yeah, there is a story that is on my list about Gucci Mane. So yeah, maybe we can talk about it. But I don't know where Bessemer is. But yeah, let me know. But yeah, Miss Wanda, yeah, definitely controlling. I do think that it makes it harder for Tisha to probably like expand in her relationship. Because I think like yeah, it definitely causes friction in Tisha's relationships. In my opinion, Wanda does the very thing to others she hates about it's done um about Tisha. Go on. Sorry. She done blamed Mel for firing her niece on TV, leading to her unaliving on a recent live. Yes, 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 absolutely. Like I talked about this in one of our recent episodes where I talked about her saying that, and I just felt like it's very much giving guilty conscience, in my opinion, because I'm like, why are you so why are you so pressed? And why do you feel like you have to be talking about Mel? Time has passed at the end of the day. If we compare Mel so-called firing Kiki on national TV versus the things that they have done to Kiki, it's like there is no comparison, for goodness sakes. There is no comparison. So yeah, it's just honestly it's very, very weird to me that it's almost like this level of delusion where in your head you're just like you cannot accept the parts that you played in it, so you will blame everyone else for what you think that they did, instead of thinking, okay, how could I have shown up better, what could I have done differently? And so that's what I feel like when it comes to the whole Wanda situation and blaming everybody. It's honestly very, very sad. It really is, because it's like I would love for Miss Wanda to take accountability. What could I have done differently? Um, how can I make sure that that never happens again? These are the things that I would say, and then I would be thinking, she would be thinking, how can I show up differently in all these lives? How can I be careful to make sure that all of these things, I don't say things that are horrible towards people that then causes them to unalive themselves, right? And so I just think these are the things that I would be thinking of if I was Wanda, instead of blaming everybody and not thinking about how could I have contributed in some way. But comes after anybody with anything to say about Tisha. Agree, that's the thing. It's almost like Tisha is innocent in everything. And you come at anybody that has anything to say about Tisha. But half the time, if you watch, Tisha be stirring up the ish. So it's like, yeah, I understand defending your daughter and riding for your daughter, that is fine. But at the same time, stay out of it. There are situations where you don't need to get involved. You can support your daughter if she comes to you privately and says, "Mom, this is what happened." Then what do you say? You console her as per you her mom, right? So console her. But you don't need to come out on the internet attacking people just because they disagree with your daughter. That's the problem that I have, is like, just let her be grown. Let her deal with relationships. Let her fall out with people. Let her fight her own battles. She doesn't need to be crawling back to mommy and mommy fighting her battles when she is grown enough to speak up for herself. I just don't really get it. Oh, Besma, Alabama is in. Okay, so Besma is in Alabama. Oh, I can't even say Alabama. Besma is in Alabama. That's where Wanda is from and currently lives. Oh, I see. And so Gucci Mane. So now it all makes more sense. Let me go back to your comment about Gucci Mane. Oh, I can't find it. Gucci Mane says it triggers him thinking about it because it's such a dark place and there's no money there. Wow. That would explain a lot of things, because I know environment really affects people. I know most people think like, oh, maybe it doesn't really affect that much. It affects people. Imagine this person, Gucci Mane, that is from there, is like, he doesn't like to go back there. And he's not broke. That man got money, money, money. And he's like, I do not like to go back there because of how dark it is. That is very, very sad to know. And it's like, maybe that's why Wanda is the way she is, right? Maybe that's why. Nanny of the Maroon said that's where Wanda is from. Marsau calls there the other side of the track. Yes, I remember he said the other side of the tracks, but I think I did not really know where it was. I just thought like maybe he was just saying that because he didn't like Wanda, not knowing that nah, he actually means that for real, for real, for real. Um, so yeah, I think that's very, very interesting. So Nanny of the Maroon said that woman hates Mel with a passion. It's actually very scary. Absolutely. I think that I've done so many lives where I'm like, it's giving obsession. I don't know what's going on, but it's absolutely giving obsession. It's like, why can't you let Mel go? Like, what is this? What is this when it comes to Mel? I just don't get it. And so yeah, I do feel like it is quite interesting that like, yeah, she still hasn't let it go. Mel is no longer on the show. She is free from that show yet. Yet every opportunity she gets, she talks about her. Exactly, guilty conscience. She sees the relationship between Mel and her mom, which is celebrated, and knows she and her daughter don't have the same relationship. Wow. That is a very, very interesting take. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that, but I think that is a very, very interesting take, which I believe there is some truth to it. Because think about it, you're right, because everyone is always praising Miss Van and how she is a classy mom. Wanda knows she ain't never gonna be that. She is not that. But what is she known for? Causing chaos. And so that's why I guess she stands in what she is known for and continues to cause chaos. I feel like that's what she's on. But yeah, that is absolutely, absolutely very, very sad. Um, oh dear. She praises Tisha because her sons have done pretty bad allegedly. Oh, I see. Isn't one in jail? Oh, allegedly. Let's just say allegedly because I do not know. She's raising one of her son's children, so she says. Oh, she even said that out of her own mouth? Mm-mm-mm. She said that out of her own mouth. Interesting. In a small town with little industry, if I remember correctly. So the people there are very poor. Wow. 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 Interesting. I feel like all of that poverty can have such an impact on like mindsets and all of that. So it is very, very, very sad. Very, very sad. Tommy is saying, please hit that like button as you come in. Please hit that like button. That's for the people that have come in. And for the people that are just coming in right now, hit that like button. For the people that have been in the chat and still have not hit that like button, I don't know what you all are doing. So please hit that like button. Tommy, are the likes now matching or the likes are not matching the amount of people in the chat? Let me know, please. Oh, you just got more 7th Avenue Beauty delivered today. What did you get? Let me know what you got. Honestly, you guys, when next I'm in the US, I am buying a bunch of stuff. Tell me which ones to get. Tell me what products to get. Like I've always wanted to try the blueberry, so I'm thinking I would definitely be trying that. But yeah, like let me know what do you guys use more of? Do you like it? Yeah, put it in the chat. Let the people know what to get as well, because I think some people may be listening and maybe wondering what can I get. So yeah, let's put in the chat. Let's know what we should get. Um okay. It says me too. The Boss Baby Buddy Butters I ordered for. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So that buddy butter is fire, hey? Yeah, I definitely need to try some of it. It's just like, with the TikTok stuff, for instance, like every time I'm on TikTok, I'm always like, oh, I really wish I could like order some of these things and stuff. But yeah, I can't buy anything from TikTok shop in the US here at the moment. So I'm just going to have to wait until I can do that, or when next time in the US, then I will get some stuff. Get some stuff sent out. I got the peach soap and elixir today. Oh, sounds nice. Even like you guys, I'll tell you how it goes. So I went to a perfume making class like maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, and I made two perfumes. When I say those two perfumes are the best, and I'm not saying this because I made them, honestly. I'll tell you why I say they're the best perfumes I've ever had in my life. Everywhere that I went to, people were asking me, "Oh my God, what are you wearing? You smell so good." And I was just like, "What?" So I then decided that, "Do you know what? I'm going to make it a thing now and I'm going to make myself some perfumes." So I bought like a bunch of stuff to make some perfumes. So I will be making some perfumes this week. So I'll let y'all know how it goes. If I don't talk about it, that means maybe 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 I didn't make no perfumes. Maybe it didn't turn out right, but I hope it will. The problem is like I don't know where I wrote down the ingredients that I did. I know some of it, but I don't know like how many of each ones I made. So I think it would be quite interesting to be able to go back and like make some. But I'll let y'all know how it turns out. But I love a good rose scent. And then I kind of work with that and I mix it with like different things. But it was so good. Like when I tell y'all that every time I'm out, even when I go on dates, the men are like, "Oh, you smell so good. What is this? Like, I remember one guy was like, what is this? He kept like smelling it on me. I was like, this is my perfume. He's like, can you make me one? So I'm just like, at this point, maybe I need to get some money off of making perfume. So don't be surprised if I ever bring out a perfume line. It all started from going to a freaking perfume making class that I thought would be fun. And then now I'm out here making perfumes. But anyway, long story short, I don't know why I'm telling you all about my perfume making stuff. So Tommy says the likes are matching. Thank you so much, everyone. But people that are just joining, please hit that like button. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that has liked. I really appreciate the support tonight, everyone. Super says, let us know. I will let y'all know how it goes. And if it goes too well, don't be surprised if I'm out here like, guys, I have a perfume line. But I don't know if I'm going to monetize that, to be honest. I'm just like, y'all, I do so many things that I don't even know if I can add sort of perfume to that. But anyway, Nanny of the Maroon said, I have almost everything. I love the TSA travel bags. I travel a lot for business and they're so good. The tights are great quality. All the skincare products are also very good. Yes, I saw those TSA bags. They look very, very like compact and stuff. So yeah, very good for traveling. Get that rose elixir and soap. You heard it here first. Super is telling y'all what to get. So guys, if you're thinking of what to get from 7th Avenue Beauty, make sure you go over there and order the rose elixir and the soap. Okay, so since we're already talking about Melody, let's get into some Melody news, honey. So you all know we talked about Martell Holt just I think on Friday. And we talked about this whole case with the children, how, he was being, the children had to like basically go and speak to the guardian and all that kind of stuff. And because he was allegedly losing his temper and was being very angry. So there seems to be some sort of update. Now, apparently, Melody has allegedly filed a motion in response to Martell's motion to continue. And it basically reads that the defendant stated reasons for continuance that he is required to attend a filming for a television production is not a legal or compelling reason or compelling basis rather seems to delay the court proceedings that has been set since June the 10th. If you guys remember, this is really what we talked about, and we talked about how he shouldn't be able to just move and basically say, oh yeah, there was a date for which he has to film, when he had known about the date for such a long time. And we talked about this. You all know we spent like ages over there on Friday talking about it. And in fact, interestingly enough, that is what was being said. So apparently the dates that was given to them since June the 10th. And so think about it, since June the 10th up until October, you've had months to do something. You've had months to file the motion. You've had months to say, Judge, I can't come. Can we please move the date? You've had months to maybe even move the date of filming. Yet you did none of that. You decided not to do any of those things. And it just shows the disregard for the court system. And so basically, Melody's response to the motion was that the defendant should have been aware of the professional schedule well in advance of this week and failed to notify the court or opposing counsel in a timely manner, which makes complete sense, because it's like, why didn't you address this before? Why did you leave it until the last minute to then address that, oh, you're not going to be able to come to the court hearing? It doesn't make any sense. Like, you should have communicated that way in advance. The court should have been aware. If it's a thing where the court could have moved the date, the court should have been able to move the date. You can't just like spring that upon the court later on, whenever you feel like it, and expect that that should be okay. But like I said, I feel like Martell gets away with a lot of ish. And it's so annoying that he's able to just do whatever he wants and like nothing is being done about it. And apparently, he also read that the plaintiff has made all necessary arrangements to appear for trial on the scheduled date, and this case has been pending for an extended period of time, and further delay can cause undue prejudice to the plaintiff, which is male, and continue to hinder resolution of issues affecting the parties and their minor children. You all know we talked about how, from what we are seeing in the YouTube streets, it seems like Martell did not go to the court hearing and instead went to film. And so it's all very, very crazy. I'm just like, I don't know how Martell seems to just be able to get away with any and everything. I'm just waiting until this case is over. I bet Melody is even waiting and over it at this point. I can only imagine how she's feeling. DG3992 says that continuance last week was denied. Her attorney filed the motion right after Martell did. Fantastic. Even better is like, let's just get in there and file this and oppose this straight away. The June continuance was to wait until the harassing communications charge was disposed of. Okay. He purposely did that, in my opinion. He thought it would impact Mel, and I don't believe he complied with the prior order regarding counseling. DG, I don't think he did either. I think we talked about that on Friday, where it was like, did he even do the counseling that he was ordered to do? And this is the thing, I just feel like that man just gets away with everything. And it's so disappointing because it's like, yo, how is it that the court can tell you to not how can the court tell you to do something and you don't do it? I've always wondered people that are so brave like that. I could never. If the court is like, we need you there by 7 o'clock, I will be there by 7 o'clock. Weigh in. If the judge says you need to do this, I will do whatever the judge says. I am doing it because I do not want problems with a judge. No, I don't like that kind of problem. So I don't know and I don't understand how Martell tends to do things like that and just gets away with it. And just seems to have little to no regard for the court system, court processes. Yeah, it's just very, very shocking. It takes a level of like just unhingedness. I know it's probably not a word, but you really have to be very unhinged to not care about how the court feels, whether or not the judge could just be fed up of you and just say, "Do you know what, let's get you on contempt of court or something." Like, he just doesn't seem to have any regard for himself, for his safety, for his sanity, for even his like security, right? Is it that is it that you really love prison and you really want to go to prison? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Martell is pure evil, sis. You have hit the nail on the head. And it's just so sad because it's like, I feel like the people that are on the receiving end of it most are like Melody, of course, right? But beyond Melody, the children, right? I feel like the saddest part is the fact that the children have to experience this. The children have to see their father in this way. And I think it's so sad because it's like, if the children grew up not seeing their father like this and grew up thinking their father was like this sweet, kind, you know, patient man, and then like find out that that is completely not what it is very, very, very disappointing. Very. DG says justice delayed is not justice denied. He is going to take off the judge to the point where he will lose his kids or male attorney fees and risk contempt, in my opinion. Absolutely. Do you know what? I think that that is bound to happen. And I think that the judge will be very ticked off by the fact that despite permission not being granted, he still went to film instead of coming to court. I think the judge should be ticked off. I would be shocked if the judge is not ticked off. Because I know as a regular person, I would be ticked off. If you tell me you're coming somewhere and you don't show up, not to talk of a court hearing where everything is already set up in a certain way, I will be so ticked off, beyond ticked off. So, yes, I think if he continues to F around, he will eventually find out. Because no matter how patient the judge is not going to be patient forever. There will come a time where the judge is like, you know what, I can't continue to deal with this. I can't continue to do this. This is not okay. This man can't continue to play me like this. I don't know any judge that would be so empathetic that they continue to let somebody play in their faces. At some point, the judge is going to be like, enough is enough. At some point, the judge is going to have to wake up and stand up and be like, do you know what? Martell, this is enough is enough. This is unacceptable. You've done this so many times. We can't continue like this. So, in a way, I don't want to say I can't wait for that, but I think it's eventually going to happen. It's only a matter of time. So, yes, you are right. Um, I think if he has to pay Mel's legal fees, I don't even know where he's going to get the money from because it just feels like, hey, my brother has come with the water. Thank you so much. So yeah. So guys, if I'm pausing to drink water, I am drinking water. Give me a second. Let me just down this water a little bit. Oh, I was so thirsty. And it's like, yo, you would be thinking like, why are you so thirsty? I don't know. Did I eat a lot of salt today? I don't think so. Because you know, sometimes when you eat some salt, end up like you just end up like drinking a lot of water. Did I read the comment about the banana bread, or am I just looking out craving banana bread? Because I think was it your Campbell said yeah she made banana bread the homemade way. Oh, Loki, if I go and order banana bread tomorrow, I'm going to blame you, Euro Campbell, because I've been doing so well, and now I'm about to start ordering banana bread. Shalene said, "Did Mel have court today with the CC?" Oh, did she? Does anyone know this? If you guys know, please put this in the chat because I did not know there was court today for Mel. If you guys feel like there was court today, please put it in the chat. Yeah, this is the first I heard of that. Okay. He doesn't care as long as he can harass Mel. That man would have been locked up a long time ago if Mel wasn't giving him grace. He's very malicious and he has been doing a lot of BS to Mel. I agree. I feel like Mel is always thinking about the children. And I think Mel feels like she doesn't want to be sort of like she doesn't want to be the one that has to call the police on him. She doesn't want to be the one that has to not give him grace, knowing fully well that, he is out here. She wants him to be in the lives of the kids. And that's the thing, like that's someone that does not want, she doesn't wish you bad. She just doesn't want to be with you. But it's like for some reason, I don't get why he can't just seem to let it go. It's like let it go. Just pick yourself back up from the floor, right? Pick yourself back up. Work on like rebuilding yourself, your family, your business. Try and like get into something. Do something for yourself, right? It just feels like since Mel left you, nothing has been right with you. Your favor left. That's what it feels like. Maybe it's Picmishers will do a GoFundMe. Yeah, I think they need to put their money where their mouth is. Because you lot like to ride for Martell all of the time. It's time to bail him out financially. It's time for y'all to put your money where your mouth is. So if you know you love yourself some Martell, set up a GoFundMe for him. Set up a GoFundMe to feed him and his bird. Maybe too much salt intake, or you have been drinking too less over a long period of time. Maybe, because I feel like normally at the gym, I would probably have like a whole 1.5 liter bottle, but I think I only had about less than 1 liter of water at the gym. And I think since then, I haven't really drank a lot of water today. So I think maybe that's part of it. And then I did have some like fish that I seasoned with salt and pepper and some seasoning, and I feel like that did not help. But the fish was so good. I'm not gonna lie, it was so good. So low key, I'm just like, yeah, I think it's all of that. Plus the lack of like drinking enough water. Plus, I think I had some creatine today. So I think when I have creatine, I actually should be drinking more water than I normally drink, and I haven't. So I think that's all of that combined. Okay, sorry guys if you guys hear me drinking. I'm trying to hydrate, and I probably also need to drink a lot of water now before because it's almost bedtime for me. So if I don't drink all of it and get it out of my system soon, then I'm going to keep waking up all night just to pee. But anyway, okay. So I think let me just double check that we've covered the melody stuff. Yes, we have. Let's see. There have been some stuff that has happened in the Instagram streets. Let me just bring that out and let's talk about it. Okay. Uh so let's talk about, let me show you the quick updates to what I saw with Wendy. So I don't know if you guys, not all of you were in the chat earlier, but when we went live earlier, we're talking about Wendy and Eddie posted for the first time since this whole saga, right? So they posted, and now it's interesting that Stacy seems to be the one person from Potomac that seems to be supporting Wendy. So Stacy is over there saying, "Love you." And then Wendy says, "Thank you for being a true friend and a sister. I love you." I guess the question is, are you surprised that Stacy is out here publicly supporting Wendy for whilst Wendy's going through what she's going through? Let me know in the chats. Are you surprised? It's interesting also. People, so like Angela Oakley, she gets like support from like Angela Oakley, Myla Hampton, Cynthia Bailey, Preston Mitchum, love you friend and always praying with and for you. Um so yeah, it sounds like she's getting a lot of support. Um yes, it may be that Marlo just liked the picture, to be honest, because it's given fashion, and you know Marlo is a fashion girl. Um, but I know the rest. I feel like the rest are probably just out here showing support. Stacy, however, I feel like Stacy probably is aware of everything that is going on, and Stacy is out here being like, "I love you." I will say it is refreshing for a change that somebody is saying something that is not, sort of adding fuel to the situation, right? So I am glad that at least one person is out here still showing her some sort of love. Now, just because I said I love you doesn't mean I support what you've done. So I'm hoping that like at least there is, I'm glad that there is at least one person that is, I guess, riding for Wendy in this situation. Tommy says, I'm not surprised. I know that Stacy always supports Wendy during their fights on the show. Yes, I agree. I noticed that. I feel like they have some sort of alliance. Um, I think it's because even though Wendy kind of like was a little shady at the reunion, I feel like compared to everyone else, Wendy still treated Stacy the best. So I think like low key, it's kind of like is low-key a little bit like a thank you for having me, in that season. So now I got you. And I do think also Stacy tends to ride for her friends. I think that is just who she is. If you guys remember when she first came on and she was cool with Karen, she was very much riding for Karen, and acting like she doesn't care if Karen was like, in the DUI thing and like trying to ride for Karen and just be like, okay, I'll be your friend. I'll support you through this. That was the vibe I got from Stacy the whole time. I feel like if her and Karen did not fall out, I think that she would have still been riding for Karen whilst Karen was going through everything Karen was going through. I think Stacy just comes across as that girl. If I like you, even if you're going through a tough time, that's my opportunity to still like be there for you and ride for you. Um and so I think like that's really just what it is, if I'm being completely honest. Um so I guess that's my 2 cents from the Stacy situation. I think it'll be very interesting to see what Giselle has to say. Interestingly enough, Giselle ain't said ish. Giselle has been as quiet as kept, honey. Giselle has not had a thing to say about it. Unless Giselle has said something and I've missed it, but I don't think Giselle has said a thing. I suspect that Giselle is still trying to figure out how should she manage this, what should she say, and yeah, so I I don't really know how Giselle is gonna handle this, but I hope that Giselle handles it. A little bit of shade is okay, but let's still keep it classy. So let's hope that Giselle still keeps it classy. Let's just say that. Okay, so let's move on. Let me show you where is the tab? Sorry guys, I have a lot of tabs open. Okay, let me open and share this one. So here is Cynthia Bailey and Crystal. So if you guys don't know, Cynthia Bailey and Crystal have a podcast together called Humble Brag. And so this time around, they are addressing the allegations against Wendy and Eddie. Oh, let me put it on loud.
All this, like I was still processing.
So whilst that is playing, let me just put this up so you guys can see. For those who still haven't liked, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Okay? So, all right, let's get back into it.
Seeing Karen Hugo going to jail and being released. Like she just got back home. So I'm like, okay, Karen's back. She did what she needed to do. Like, we're good. Everything is normal again. And then I wake up and I'm like, Wendy, I'm like, oh
Another
my
earthquake.
God.
Oh,
Like I just immediately just was so like upset. I was like, no. And then I honestly just refused. Like I was like, no, this is like a prank. Like this is not real. And then when I went back on my social media a couple hours later, it was everywhere. I was like, oh shit.
that is the thing. I can relate to feeling like this must be a prank. Like, where did this come from? Because I was so shocked. I was literally walking to get a facial done and I paused in the middle of the road. I was surprised. I was so shocked out of my mind. I didn't even know. I thought I was dreaming for a second. Like, yo, what is going on? And to then find out that it was true, I can relate, sis. I can relate. It's the weirdest thing. It's like you low-key like pause and you're like, of all the people, I would not expect it to be them. So yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know, is this real? Like, why is this all over my timeline?
Yeah.
And it just made me just kind of freak me out, actually. I just wasn't ready for that. And I didn't, what I know of them, I'm just like, what?
It didn't seem right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, I don't know them, but the little time I spent with her, I liked her. And, you get good vibes from people.
Of course. Yeah.
So my initial was once I just decided, like, if this is true, I just felt bad.
Yeah. I felt bad.
Bad for anyone.
I felt sad too. I was like, what?
That has to feel like they need to do that.
Yeah.
The pressure they're under.
That is a very, very important point. It's like, Crystal said something very important. It's like, I feel bad. Like the pressure they must have been under to feel like they had to do something like that. And one of the things we were speculating about was like, were they in money problems? Like, were they in like, do they have money troubles? Like, what were the issues that they had for them to feel like this was something that they needed to do? And so it is very, very sad. I'm not going to lie. And no matter how much I talk about it, I don't feel like it gets any less sad. Like I'm still low-key sad about it, because it's like, how do you get to that point? And how do you get to the point where you feel like this is the only choice that you have as two people who are graduates? One is a lawyer, one is a doctor. It's like, how do you ever get to that point? So yeah, it is very sad.
What?
Yeah, and we're like, speculating. We are trying to, we don't put ourselves in different situations to try to figure out how did we even get to this conversation? I mean, until they say something. I mean, I'm standing on the side of
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to give it a beat.
Yeah.
I don't really have any real opinion about it other than I feel bad.
Yeah.
I immediately thought about their kids, their beautiful family. I was like, okay, this is not what I wanted to wake up to see.
Yeah.
I did not want to see that.
Yeah. I think it's always petty drama's fun and, making fun of each other's clothes. I don't know. Yeah. Something simple. This is tough stuff because this is actually affects.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I feel like Crystal and Cynthia balance each other out a little bit because I feel like Cynthia don't really be liking to hurt anybody. So the way in which she positions her feedback or her views are very like, no matter what, it always sounds positive. And I feel like Crystal brings a little bit of a like, even if it's true, like that realism aspect of things, where it's like, even if it's true, why would they ever feel like that's what they needed to do? So I like the fact that both of them bring two separate perspectives. They are both still being like very super nice about it compared to like a lot of people and how a lot of people would address it. But I still think like they bring a decent balance because it's like Cynthia is more like, I don't even want to talk about it. And then Crystal is like, well, even if it's true, it's like, why would they feel like they have to go to that point? And like, whatever made them feel like that was the only choice is really sad, right? So I definitely think like they balance each other quite well.
Kind of a lot of people, their family and reputation and children. And I just.
Yep. Crystal is talking about all the things that we're saying. It's like, think about it, all the reputational damage. The reputational damage is the worst part because it's like, when your reputation is damaged, it's very, very hard to get it back. And even when it's gotten back, it's like there is always almost like a cloud hanging over that reputation, which is so sad, honestly. That's the part that I feel, one, I feel for the kids the most, and then two, that reputational damage that even really affects like their legacy forever, really. So it is very, very sad.
Hopefully things will get resolved and,
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping Wendy and Eddie and their family just in prayer. I've
always wondered when people say things like, I'm keeping them in my prayers, do you actually pray and talk about them and pray for them? Or do you just say it? Like that actually like is something that I've always wondered about. Like when they're like, oh yeah, I'm keeping you in my prayers. I'm like, are you though? Are you really keeping me in your prayers? Or is this just like something that you say to make me and you feel better? Like, I don't know. But I don't know if it's just like what do you all think? Is it like just a terminology that people say and nobody really be out here actually praying for nobody? But for me, when I actually say I'll pray about it or I'll keep you in my prayers, I actually say a word of prayer for the person. And every time I think about it or remember, I'm like, okay, let me pray for that person. And I try not to say it unless I have actual plans to pray for the person, just because I'm like, but maybe I'm just thinking about it too much.
I just feel bad. Immediately when I saw this, like,
yeah, so we've watched that. But yeah, like, yeah, it's such a very dicey, sad situation. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very, very hard one. Very, very hard one. Okay, so did you guys watch Belle Collective? Let me know in the chat. Raise your hand if you watch Belle Collective, because I'm about to talk about Belle Collective. If you guys didn't watch Belle Collective, then it's like, what's the point? Should I still talk about it? Let me know in the chat. Did you watch Belle Collective? Do you want me to talk about Belle Collective? Let me know in the chat, because I feel like a lot happened in Belle Collective, and low key, I don't even mind talking about it at all. But yeah, like, it'd be interesting if you guys have actually watched it. But yeah, so Belle Collective. What would you rate Belle Collective, this latest episode of Belle Collective, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being excellent? What would you rate Belle Collective on a scale of 1 to 10? Let us know in the chat. Put it in the chat. What would you rate Belle Collective? In the meantime, let me just put this as a text and then let me drink some water. What would you rate the latest episode? Sorry, I'm like typing so loudly. What would you rate the latest episode of Belle Collective? Put it in the chat. What would you rate the latest episode of Belle Collective? Okay. I see a 9. To be honest, I feel like this episode of Belle Collective was actually decent. And I say that because I feel like the episode had range. There were so many things going on. I really liked the grief event that Selena threw. I felt like it was a very needed scene. It was a very needed conversation, because like a lot of people can relate to losing somebody. Like, I don't know anybody that has not lost anybody. And so like I feel like it was a much needed event. I love that like people were vulnerable enough to talk about the people that they lost. And it's like sometimes you don't want to talk about it because it hurts, but at the same time, it's like talking about it actually helps. And so like being able to see people talk about it openly, address some of the loss that they have experienced, I think is absolutely beautiful. I would say that pool party was a pool party from hell. Latrice, baby. I know it looks like you're trying to keep your hands clean, but I don't know. I don't know, sis. It's given everything was orchestrated and planned to come at Tisha. So it is very odd. I'm not gonna lie. It is very odd. I don't know what's going on, but it is very, very odd. It's very much given orchestrated, because why couldn't you give your so-called big sister a heads up? Why would you allow her to come to your event for all of this to happen? It doesn't make any sense. And we'll get into that in a little bit of detail, but I kind of want to go back to the start a little bit. So Latrice invited some of the girls over to taste. And my first impression is like, what the heck is Amanda wearing? Like, I know Marie don't be dressing well either, but like Amanda just looked terrible. It's like, sis, you're trying to look fashionable, but it is not giving fashions. It's looking terrible. It's giving a hot mess. So Amanda, please burn that shirt. Don't ever wear that shirt again. Just burn it, please, and thank you. But I will say, I felt that it was very interesting that Amanda came and had this energy for Marie. And she was like, oh, I didn't like the way you guys treated. So you and Latrice, or you and Letitia treated my girl at the reunion. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's bad for you to stand up for your friend. I actually think that's what a good friend should do. You should stand up for your friend. You should ride for your friend. You should bring it up and say it and speak on it. But I thought that it felt like everything was being produced in advance of the so-called pool party so that Amanda can have an excuse for going at Letitia. That is what it felt like, because I don't understand why did you need to really put that in and plug that in there and say, yeah, I didn't really like the way you treated it. Like, they squashed it now. There's no need for that to still be a topic of conversation. And I love was it Marie that said, yeah, we both did things, or I think it was Letitia at the point later on that said, yeah, but we both did things to each other. Because I think that needs to also be said, because you can't make it seem like Latrice was innocent. Latrice also had some things that she did to contribute to the different situations, right? So at least it took two to tango. But I thought that was very, very interesting. I think I like that we're being shown Carrie's husband. I feel like we're seeing a little bit more about Carrie. Carrie seems like really on her grind. She seems really into her business. She runs 3 businesses. And it's interesting. She seems very, very hands-on. And once I saw how she was interacting in the business, I was not surprised when she then said that she gets very, very hands-on with her business and then she takes that energy home. And I think that is something that needs to be unlearned. Because it's like, think about it. Imagine you're at work all day, bossing people around, do this, this needs to get done by this time, we can't have this done. And then you go home and you take that energy to your man, who is thinking like, why are you talking to me like that? And that's the problem, right? Because it's then like you take that energy, you bring that energy home, and then your partner does not know what to do with it. And if it's a man who is very much like just lets you run things and do whatever, then you bring that rah energy to the house, and then you're running a tight ship at your home where it should be a place of comfort. Nobody wants to leave work and then come home and it feels like another job. And so I really hope that she learns how to turn it off. I really hope that she figures it out. I do wonder what her husband does. I get the impression that he may be like, now that he's retired, maybe he has so much time on his hands, which I think sometimes makes the dynamic of the relationship a bit difficult, especially if you're used to somebody going out all the time and bringing in the bacon, and all of a sudden they're retired. Even they do have investments and stuff, it's not the same, right? And so maybe Carrie has to grind a little bit more now, and because finances are not the same as when her man was not like retired and was actually playing ball. So it could be that, and maybe now that he has so much time on his hands, she doesn't feel as inspired by him. And so it's now a thing where it's like all that masculine energy that she has within herself is now coming and bubbling up into the surface. And then maybe he's taking more of a submissive role in their home, which may not be conducive, right? So I just think it would be very interesting to see their dynamic, but I will not be surprised if Carrie is the one that brings home most of the bacon, or if she doesn't, he doesn't have a very full life outside of the home, which sometimes some women don't know how to handle that. It's like some women can deal with the stay at home man, some women cannot. I know for me, I like a man that has to go out and earn the bacon, right? Even if you work from home, I don't mind it at all. It's very convenient. We can do stuff together. It's pretty good. But I want to see you work. I want to see you grind. I want to be there whilst you're developing your apps and all the cool stuff that you're doing. I want to be part of it. I want to be a fly on the wall, seeing you achieve your goals and your dreams. For me, I would get bored if I'm with somebody or talking to somebody who is very much like, doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to do much, but take care of the house. I would personally not like that. I would love to be able to see you grind. So I feel like it would be hard for me to turn it off as well if I come back home and you've been home all day and you're pretty much doing nothing, or doing what I perceive to be nothing, right? So I do wonder if that is also part of what is causing the dynamic between Carrie and her husband. I definitely want to see more of that so that I can figure out like what is really going on over there. But I think it's very interesting. At least we're seeing something else outside of the dynamic of the girlies going back and forth with each other. Okay, so she does say she wants to do more as a wife, and she promised to prioritize him and put him first. Did you guys notice his reaction? He did not seem convinced. It sounds like he and his wife have had this conversation so many times. You know, when you've talked to somebody about something before, you said something to someone, you don't promise them, oh, I promise I'll do it this way. And you said it and done it so many times that they don't believe the thing you are saying. That is the impression I got. It was given he genuinely did not trust that she will prioritize him. And I think that's very, very sad, because it's like, how can you be saying, oh, you change and do better, and your husband doesn't even trust you? But the thing is, that gives the impression you said it before. You said that you'll fix up before. You said that you would work on something before, and you have not. And so it's like, moving forward, he doesn't really trust that it's happening. But he says something like, yeah, I trust you, I'll trust you, or something like that. And it's funny, that's usually what you say when you don't trust somebody. Because you're hoping that if you tell them that you hold them to their word, they will show up and do what it is that you want them to do. And I feel like that's the impression that I got from what her husband said. It was that he was feeling, I hope that you do what you say that you will do. That's my impression. The impression I got from that. Hey, Braylon. Hey, welcome. How are you? It's so good to see you. Yeah, love you too. Hope you're good. Guys, Braylon is a content creator like myself, so make sure you go over there and check his YouTube page. But yeah, thanks for joining, Braylon. So yeah, I just feel that when you just think about it at the core of what it is, I just feel like she's done it so many times. He's checked out. He feels like she's never going to change. She's told him she'll change so many times. And he's just like, I'll choose to believe you. That's the vibe that I get from that. But let me know what you guys think. And do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the chat. So let's move on to Letitia and Glenn. So Letitia and Glenn decided to invite Selena and Mike to do some communication exercises. And I just think of all the people, like Selena and Mike, you all must be going through it. If Letitia and Glenn are the ones giving you all advice, you guys definitely are going through it. Because not Letitia and Glenn being the ones pulling you into some counseling and like group exercises. Mm-mm-mm. If I were them, I will go home and settle the issue. Because it's like if Glenn and Letitia are giving good advice, we have lost the plot. Oh, Berling said, yes, getting ready to review Real Housewives of Potomac. 3 episodes in, has more energy than Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, let's hope that Real Housewives of Atlanta bring it this season, because if they don't bring it this season, people may just completely forget about watching Atlanta. Portia, let's get the money's worth, honey. And we need to laugh this season. So please bring the entertainment. And I definitely do not want to see no Shamia and Portia beef, because that ish is played out. Please and thank you to the people of Bravo. Please, we don't want to see no Shamia singing randomly constantly. Please cut it out. Edit it out. Please. Thank you. But yeah, I definitely think Real Housewives of Potomac has brought it a lot more than Real Housewives brought, especially in the first 3 episodes. Although I don't know how they're gonna top it moving from there, if I'm being completely honest. I don't see how they will top it, but we'll have to wait and see. For those who have just come in, please hit that like button, everybody. Please hit that like button. Okay, so back to the Belle collective of it all. So Letitia and Glenn invited Selena and Mike to do some communication exercises. Selena feels like she has had a gap in her emotional attachment since she lost her son. I feel so bad for Selena. You can tell that she's really going through it. And it's very sad because I don't think the partner that she has the emotional maturity, capacity, level of empathy that she requires. And I'll say that because of two separate things. One, when she was talking about the gap in her emotional attachment since she lost her son, that guy had a smirk on his face, almost like he was smiling. And that just really annoyed me. I'm like, now is not the time, sir. I don't know what's funny to you, but your lady is crying. She is crying. You could see the tears coming and rolling down her face. And then it's like, what is that smirk on your face? I just didn't get it. I really did not understand why he had that smirk on his face. And that really bothered me, because I'm just like, this is your girl, the person you say you want to get married to. So her crying should be a bother to you. You should not be happy to see your spouse crying. I don't understand when people get very, it's almost like they don't want to be bothered by your crying. And it's like, if you like her, you should never want her to cry. The fact that she's crying should bother you so much, and you're like, okay, no, we need to make sure she never gets to the point where she has to cry like this again. What can I do as her man to make her feel better? She said she feels like him not really communicating with her reminds her of, like, her son passing, and that gap that she has, right? And it's like, as a partner, of course, he's never going to be able to fill that gap. But when you are talking to him about it, the least he can do is not smirk, not smile, right? Like, it just felt like, dude, were you smiling? Like, what are you doing? And so I really did not like that. Yes, he was smirking. He really had that smirk on his face. I wanted to just slap that smirk off his face, because I just didn't get it. So yeah, that really, really annoyed me. The other thing that annoyed me, and this was towards the end of the episode, right? This was at the grief event. She's had a grief event. Everyone is talking about how amazing the event was and everything. And guess what then happens? He then says to her, come over here and hug me or something like that. You did well. I'm like, dude, are you okay? You should just go over there and be the one being her support. I know someone might say, oh, it's a very light thing and not that serious. But to me, I took that seriously because one, you were smirking earlier when she was crying. Now at her grief event, you said she should come over here and hug you instead of you to go over to her to hug her and be a support system for her. It just feels like you are used to her doing things for you and you don't know how to be present for her, and it's very, very sad. Very sad. Hey, Lady Po, how are you? So good to see you. Hope you're good. And yeah, I hope you've had a really good Monday. So yeah, it's just very, very odd to me. And so I'm just like, Selena, baby, that man is not the one. But I feel like you're going to end up with him because the way you keep crying over that man but still staying with that man needs to be studied. Look here, I feel like a lot of women, a lot of women must feel that they don't deserve better because I just don't understand. This man is making you cry like that, you're going through it like that, yet you're still over there, still wanting to be with him, still dating him. At what point do you choose yourself? Now, I do think if Selena is not already in therapy, she needs to be in therapy. Because the way she was talking and acting, you can tell that she really needs to be actively in grief counseling. If she's not in there already, she needs to be in there. There is a gap that she's experiencing as a result of the death of her son. And the truth is, nobody can fill in that gap but the Lord Jesus. Nobody can. So it's just like nobody can fill that gap. No man, no woman, no child, no grandchild can fill that hole that she fills. And so it's just like she needs to deal with that and address it and heal from it. Like, of course, with grief is a lifelong healing. But she can at least get to the point where she can manage it and it doesn't have that much impact where she is so anxious every time she doesn't hear from her partner. But the big thing also is date somebody who is not trying to make you anxious. Date somebody who wants to keep you in the loop, who wants to constantly talk to you, who wants to tell you things, who wants to be a partner, not someone who does not want to be a partner, who just wants the benefits of being with you whilst he does whatever he wants to do in Texas, right? Isn't it Texas that he went to recently? Exactly. So I feel like it needs to be somebody who wants to be there for you, not the man who 1 minute he wants to be in Texas and not tell you, or he buys a boat and doesn't tell you, or he buys a house and doesn't tell you, or a car, whatever it is that he bought. That is never a good sign. And I hope and pray that she will love herself enough to know that that is not a good sign and that is a red flag. It's literally like that flag is redder than red. It's literally telling you, like, girl, this is what he is telling you that will happen throughout the marriage. So, unless you are ready for that, it ain't gonna change. And so I just wish honestly that that would be, I hope that that would be resolved um one way or another. Really, I just hope so. I hope she gets the counseling, she gets the love and support that she genuinely needs, because she really does need it. That's the best way of putting it. But now let's talk about that grief event. I loved that event. That event is one of the reasons why I would say I give this episode a 9. that event was so beautiful. I love that everyone was just able to talk about how they felt. They had experienced loss before everyone was talking about it. And I love that they had a balloon release as well, where they had to write like a note to whoever it is that has done. It's just a beautiful thing for you, especially because it's like sometimes when people pass on, you feel like you didn't get the chance to say certain things to them. And so having that balloon release, it gives you the opportunity to feel like you have said those things to them. And then to also then be able to be like, okay, I've said these things, I've had that conversation, I've had the goodbye. Now let me release it into the atmosphere so that it can then move on, right? And so I definitely think that it is so beautiful that like she even thought of it. I think it was so beautiful that she got to speak up about it. It was very sad hearing what Latrice went through with the death of her brothers. I think sometimes you don't know the kind of pain that people are carrying and just walking around, right? I think we all, when you see most of us outside, we all look normal. We all look like we haven't been through a lot and life is good and everything is wonderful. But when you then get to the bottom of it, you realize that a lot of people have been through it, are going through it, and it's not easy at all. And so I just think it was like a very, very relatable scene. And these are the kind of scenes that I feel like we want to see on these shows. So I'm just glad that like this is at least we get a wholesome, because I know when it comes to Carlos don't be liking to give us these kind of wholesome things, but I'm glad that for once we got a wholesome scene where it wasn't like they weren't just editing and chopping things out that needed to be there. Now, completely unrelated, but on this topic of editing, do you feel like they edit Bell Collective very well? I don't know. I get the impression they don't be editing it very well. It just comes across 9 out of 10. Like it comes across very weird. Like they don't be editing it well. And it just seems very choppy in certain places. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's very, very odd. I will say that. Very, very odd. Um, okay, so let's talk about the pool party because some of y'all probably are thinking like, can she just get to the pool party? Can she just get to the pool party? So here's my little 2 cents about the pool party. First of all, Selena was giving body yaddy 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 yaddy. Selena's body is tea. Okay? Tea. Like, I knew she had a little body, but in that swimsuit, honey, that body was bodying. I was like, shout out to you, Selena. Miss Grandma. Grandma is a baddie. Like, imagine your grandma looks like that. Okay. And then I also loved Carrie's outfit. I thought Carrie's outfit was cute. She definitely looked like pool party appropriate. She looked like she came dressed for a pool party. I also liked Latrice's outfit as well. I thought it was really cute. To be fair, like a lot of the girls actually showed up. Maybe they need to have more pool parties because everybody was looking ready to party. Okay. Letitia also looked good as well. Like she is a cute woman. She's so cute in the face. She looks good in the face. She looks good like all together, but I think she has a very striking, beautiful face that I really like. This is the part where I feel like Latrice knows what the heck she is doing. Latrice, honey, you knew they were going to play a game. You knew the questions. You can't tell me you didn't ask out of curiosity the questions that they're going to be putting in the game. I don't believe you for a second. And this is why I feel like everything was planned. Let's go back to when Latrice had a sit down, right? She had a sit down with Marie and Amanda. Did you guys pick up on, she said she's doing a pool party and she's inviting the people over. It has to be a couples pool party. Did you guys get that? She wanted a couples pool party. In that same conversation, Amanda was telling Marie that, you know, she's not really like in a relationship or whatever. She was giving the impression she's actively dating. She doesn't know if she's going to be dating a man or a woman. So, how is it that Amanda is invited when Amanda does not have a partner? And Amanda then gets to bring a +1 that ain't her spouse. It's probably just a friend, like a new friend or whatever, right? And you say it's a couples thing. I'm not blaming Latrice. I'm not blaming Latrice. I just feel like, one, I feel like Latrice should have told her personally. I feel like Latrice should have told her, even if she doesn't want to tell her directly. Latrice should have at least set it up so that Mandy and Letitia could talk. Not in a group setting. Right? That's my personal opinion. Not a group setting. You're not about to then start playing games and then Mandy then speaks up. I know Mandy has a date, but my thing is, you said it was a couples thing and you were not going to invite somebody because her man wasn't going to be available. If her man wasn't going to be available, she may have had a date, but you intentionally wanted it to be a couples thing. This is my perspective. You intentionally wanted it to be a couples thing, and that's what you made it into a thing, right? So I personally feel like OG believes you should stay out of married people's business. I would not have told. Wow. But if you say that person is your sister, would you still tell or would you not say anything? Because let's be clear, Latrice keeps saying, Latrice is the one that is always saying, Letitia is like a big sis to me. It's like, if someone is like a big sis to me, even grown folks and married people's business, this person is like a big sis to me. I am telling. Because I would be thinking like, yo, I need to say something. I can't just keep it to myself and act like I don't know and bring this person around, right? Knowing fully well this person has the tea, and not just that, this person is also talking to other people in this group about the tea. I would at least give her a heads up. Like, babes, I don't want you to hear it anywhere else, but just so you know, this. This is not new to Letitia. Glenn has been doing this. Yeah, I get that, right? Letitia definitely does not want to leave that man. Letitia is like, I'm going to be Steve Wonder to the BS. Letitia does not want to leave that man. And that is okay. If you don't want to leave that man, that is your choice. Do what you must do. I think where it gets a bit tricky is that, think about it, you don't want to leave this man, right? Let the people know you don't want to leave this man. Nobody come to me about my man. I am not leaving this man. It is what it is. If she had put that disclaimer out, ain't nobody gonna bother her. Nobody will say ish. The problem is she makes it seem like, oh, her, I and Glenn, you know, we've worked through our issues and we're doing so well. And then people are thinking, how are you doing so well if he's in the DM in a map? There's DMs. So of course people will feel inclined to say something. OG is like my blood sister, yes, friend, no. Fair enough. I would say something. I am not keeping that to myself. If I feel like you're like a Letitia and this happens all the time and you don't do ish, guess what I will do? I will set it up. I will let you know, hey girl, Amanda came to me with some news. I'm going to let her tell you herself. This is something that's actually happened to me before. I just set it up so they could speak. I stayed out of it. I set it up so they could speak. And after they spoke, I was there for my friend who chose to still stay with this man. And it was fine. I was there for her after. I didn't force her to leave the man or say da 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 or repeat anything. I was just like, hope you're good. Da, 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 da. She had the conversation. She had the receipts. She did what she wanted with what she had. And that was that for me. You know, at least I know I did my part. Because the last thing I would want is to feel like, just feel like who I came into. OG is right, dude. They will make up and still be mad with you. Absolutely. I agree. They will talk about you. They'll say, you don't want us to be in love and all of that. And, you don't want my marriage to work and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. A lot of people will say that. But I'm like, I'm still gonna say something. I think luckily I've never had this situation when it comes to marriage. It's only been like relationships. Luckily, I never had somebody in marriage, and I hope I never have to be in that situation when it comes to somebody's marriage, because I take marriage seriously. I do not want to have to deliver that news. However, if that's the case, I'm gonna be like, girl, I have something to tell you. I do not want to be the bearer of this news. But someone said something. So what I'm gonna do is I will call this person up. You guys can sit down and have lunch. I will be there if you want me to be there as a third party mediator. Ideally, I would rather not. You guys go have the conversation, let her send you the receipts, and you guys discuss. That's the best I'm gonna do. Or if I see maybe people out there, da, 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 I'm just gonna be like, oh, I saw your man, da 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 da. He was, cool. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I saw him cheating. Nah, I saw your man. Oh, really? Who was he with? He was with this blonde girl. So what were they doing? Whatever they were doing. If they were holding hands, I'm gonna say holding hands. Mhm. That's you lot's business. But I would rather tell you than be like, low-key just thinking, oh my God, she doesn't know. And imagine when you then find out and you come to me and you're like, you knew all along. Like, nah, I would rather say something. Especially because me as a person, I'd rather you tell me. And if you tell me, I would rather you tell me than me having to hear it outside. And the funny thing is, I also always think like, even when you find out that information, there's no reason to put your friend on blast. There's no need for you to be like, Amanda saw you outside. Like, there's no need for all of that. Just say, I saw you, or what were you doing, da 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 da, and focus the conversation that way. Excuse me. Instead of bringing the friend into it, because that's what causes issues. And Mandy, your friends, I feel like she should have told her. I completely agree. Amanda is one to watch. Because Amanda, the way Amanda was talking about it, it was like Amanda was talking about, like, yeah, have you seen the way his wife looks? I'm like, honey, I didn't even think her and Letitia were friends. The way she was out here dogging Letitia. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, when is it a flex for a married man to start sliding to your DMs? I just really didn't get it. And so when I saw that her and Amanda were friends, I was like, girl, that is so wild. The way she talks about Amanda, the way she talks about Letitia, rather, like some bum off the streets, I was definitely surprised that they were friends. I did not know. I had no, in the slightest idea, had no idea that they were friends. I thought they were sworn enemies. So it's one of those things where it's like, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Really, with friends like those people, who needs enemies? Honestly speaking. But anyway, so that happened, and then hold on, let me get my notes because I kind of low-key forgot all my train of thoughts. So they started playing their games. And it's one of those perfect examples of like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Because it's like, what kind of game is that? And who wrote that question? Have you ever been attracted to anyone in the group? It's like, no. Even if you are, you best stay quiet. Because what the hell? So then, Carrie's like, everybody, say it with me. No. And then Amanda was like, "Oh, you're a liar." I'm like, "Girl, it was almost like she was waiting for an in." The whole time I kept looking at Amanda's face, right? Whilst the game was playing, whilst like just random points were being made. And you could see her. She was seething. She was waiting. She was ready to drop the bomb. And that just bothered me because it's like, why are you really relishing in this woman's anguish? Like, fair enough, she's the one that is putting herself in it because she continues to stay with this man. But at the same time, it's like, why are you so excited for this to be her downfall? Like, I just didn't really get that. And then it was like, you said, oh, he's lying or whatever. And you're looking straight at Glenn, then so of course Letitia is confused and she's like, we're friends, like what is going on? And then so now she's like, let's go talk about it separately. I'm like, girl, no, you brought it up in front of the class, so now talk to the whole class about it. So then the +1 that Mandy brought starts saying, I saw you in her DMs, so I saw the DMs you sent her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Was that really necessary? Was that really necessary? And that's how we went left. I'll be very curious to see how it like escalates next week. Like how intense does it get? I feel like Letitia, honey, if you're not going to leave that man, let that man cheat in peace. Let that man cheat in peace. That man be out in the streets, you know this, everybody knows this, allegedly. So let him just cheat in peace. There is no need for like wanted. You should have just been like, okay, well, he's attracted to you. My man can be attracted to a bunch of people. That don't mean ish. He comes home at night. Case closed. People will have more respect for you because they're like, do you know what? She does not care. She doesn't act like she cares. The end of it. But the problem is when you act like, oh, I don't want, my man can't be doing anything. We're at such a good place. You know your man is a cheat. We don't want to hear how good things are. Because you cannot tell me that you believe that that man is not stepping out on you. So it's like, why? Why say anything? Why not just be quiet and not tell us about nothing that Glenn is doing? Let's just be seeing you and Glenn. And just know that you guys are together. There's no need for you to be like, oh, he's doing so good. We're so good. And things are so good with us. And it's like, girl, what things? Let that man cheat in peace. That man wants to be freed, honey. Let him be free. I always say this, right? And this is what I feel like women need to realize. Unless you are planning to leave that man alone, don't confront him for cheating. Best to act like you're in denial. Best to act like you do not know nothing about his cheating. Unless you are ready to leave him, there is no point addressing it. Because if you address it and you're not ready to leave him or ready to show him the consequences of his actions, honey, you are teaching him how to treat you. And guess what? You're telling him that behavior is acceptable. So guess what he will do? He will do it again. This thing stresses me out because my phone is meant to be on freaking I literally set it on like what's it called? I set it on like work mode, so no call should have gotten in, but yet it happens sometimes and I don't really understand that. It really throws me off, especially when it rings out loud as well, and I'm very much like I don't like my phone ringing out loud, so when my laptop rings out loud it's just very, very odd. But anyway, so back to what we're saying, right? If you know you're not going to leave that man, there's no reason for you to be acting like you're going to leave him. You know you're not going to leave him. You know you're not going to let things go. You will be talking about it, but you're not going to leave him. Just let it go. Don't say nothing. Because the moment you say something, he knows that you know. And if you don't know, if you don't leave him, if you don't leave him, if you don't show him the consequences of his action, if you take him back just like that, he knows that he can do it again. And guess what he would do? He would do it again. And he would do it again. And he would do it again. Because he knows you will not leave him. So you have taught him that being faithful is not a necessity to be with you. But if, for instance, he does something like that, and then you file for divorce, then this man knows you are serious. So if he really wants you back, guess what he will do? He will move mountains. He will promise. He will say he will go to counseling. If you make sure he goes to counseling successfully, goes through that, goes through different hoops before he eventually gets you to come back home. That has taught him a lesson. Especially if it took a long time and a lot of effort. It has taught him a lesson that you will not tolerate that. And so he knows moving forward, if I don't want to lose my wife and go through what I went through, I better keep my penis in my household. And then if he does it again, guess what you do? You pack your things and you leave forever. And you never give him an opportunity to be able to do that again. That then tells him, okay. And guess what? It may not work out for you in the sense that, you eventually left him, but at least he would know in the future not to mess with you again, right? And he will never get the opportunity to do so. But if you choose to stay with a man that is cheating left, right, center, you're finding out, you cry, he begs you, in a day you forgive him, and you get back out with him, you're teaching him how to treat you. The next time he's not even going to hide it. And so that's why I just say, if you're sure that you're not going to, if you know you're not going to take action, if you know you ain't going to leave that man alone, just be delusional and act like you don't see nothing, there won't be nothing. Just act like you have no idea. Act completely oblivious. Because the moment you say something and you don't deal with it and you don't make sure like he knows that it can't happen again, sis, you have set yourself for a lifestyle of cheating. And I think that's where Letitia went wrong. I think Letitia has taken that man so many times that he knows that cheating is not a deal breaker for her. It's very sad, but that's just the reality of it. You've taught that man how to treat you. You've taught that man that he doesn't have to be faithful to you. You've taught that man that that behavior is acceptable. You've taught that man that you would pick him over everybody, right? Because we can see in the preview for the next episode, you were saying, oh, they don't want us to succeed or whatever. I'm like, girl, who doesn't want you to succeed? Your husband is the one that doesn't want you to succeed. Your husband is the one that doesn't want your success, honey. It's no other person but your husband. Your husband is the culprit. So I need you to, that energy, that upset, that anger, that sadness, you're calling Latrice a snake. Your husband is the snake. You sleep in the same bed with the snake. Because it has to be a snake to have you in the same room as the woman that he is sliding in her DMs. Okay? That is snakish behavior. So the person who you need to have all that energy, all that venom for is your husband. But it's so sad because like a lot of women have venom for other women when it's like that venom should be channeled towards your husband. That's the person who said in front of the whole world that he was going to cherish you, he was going to love you, he was going to treat you good, and then decided not to do that. So the person you need to be focused on is the person that said the vows. Your friends did not have no vows about, how they were going to cherish and love you and be faithful to you. Your husband did. So nobody is trying to tear you apart but your husband. So it's like, let's focus on that and not the people. Now, I do want to read something that Latrice had to say, because Latrice had some words after this came out. So let me get the link so I can read this out to you guys. So she says, I hope you guys were entertained by last night's episode of Belle Collective. Watching and reliving that moment of betrayal and seeing how it all led up was truly disheartening. Now, that is something I will agree with her on. I feel like it is clear that everything was being geared up to that moment. Everything. The conversation that Marie and Latrice and Amanda had, the fact that it was a couples thing, I feel like everything was being geared up to that. So that's, I will say, I agree with. Prior to the event, I was told by my friend slash class castmates that I would be approached about the reunion. Not one time was it ever shared with me that I will be approached about my husband. Mm-mm-mm. In one breath, I feel horrible for even sharing my reality because it's constantly being weaponized and used to carry my castmates. But in the other breath, I remember how many people have told me they are inspired by my transparency. That reminder keeps me grounded in my purpose. Okay. Okay. So you see what I mean about the whole Latrice thing? I feel like Latrice, you made it worse because you approaching her to tell her that somebody's going to approach her about the reunion, but not give her a heads up and say that somebody is going to approach her about her husband is low. I will say that, sis. It's low. And I feel like you knew and you set her up. It was obvious because of the way everything seemed to have been progressing from the start. It was giving you guys all knew and you guys set her up. That is what it's given. Guys, for those who have just come in, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. Okay, so in one breath, I feel horrible for even sharing my reality. Okay, we've read this. And then she says, I know who I am, and I stand firm knowing that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It's crazy how life reminds us to be mindful of who we allow around us. Just because people smile doesn't mean they are genuine, and just because you lay beside someone doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. First of all, I am glad you said that because it's like, yeah, you want to talk about friends and how just because like people around you are like smiling in your face don't diminish. Good. Talk about how that man laying next to you is a snake. And I'm glad she also covered that too. Because I think if she had just said about like people smiling in her face and she'd not address the bit about having someone sleep next to you but they don't have your best interest at heart, it would have just been very weird. So I agree, your husband does not have your best interest at heart. He has done this so many times, it's so obvious at this point. So hopefully this has been a wake-up call for her to realize that like it's one thing for someone to keep saying that they will never do this and they will treat you this way, but continue to treat you the way that your husband has. This is a season to protect your mind, body, and soul. Use discernment. Trust no one but yourself and God. Well, that I agree with. I understand the content of my life and the position I hold, so I know attacks will come, but I will always stand in faith, knowing that no weapon fashioned or formed against me shall prosper. Thank you, everyone that has been showing me love and sending encouragement. Can't say too much right now, but stay tuned. So I'm guessing she is getting a divorce. Because yes, I'm like, some heads up would have been nice, sis. Like, you can't tell her that, oh, you're going to address the reunion, but or someone's going to come to you to approach the reunion and not say to her that they're going to approach her about her husband. You should have at least said, sis, there is something coming out about Glenn. I can't tell you what it is because of, contractual stuff, but just to give you a heads up, sis, something is coming up. That could have been it, right? You don't have to give her all of the tea and the exact how it's going to happen, and Amanda is going to come in with a white dress saying this. Like, you don't need to give her all that tea. Just a general heads up, like, sis, something, you have even said something is coming up tonight, sis. Like, I'm so sorry, but something is going to come up tonight, just to give you a heads up. That could have been the end of it. But you basically misdirected her by saying something was going to come out about the reunion without telling her something is going to come up about her marriage is nasty work. I will say that. Let's see what the comments have to say. Someone says to wait for a camera to be rolling and a room full of people to embarrass her like that was disgusting. Regardless of her husband being the issue, the girl is an issue too for wanting to bring it up like this. Absolutely. It's like you wanted to bring it up like this. Then after you brought it up like that, you now said, you know what, let's go talk outside. Like, no, honey, let's talk here where you brought it up to everybody. Everybody now knows. So why do you want to pull me to the side to talk? Let's talk about it here. Addressing everyone but the friendly husband. I think she addressed the friendly husband too. Someone said, but she did. She did. Letitia, I don't know if everyone has told you are worthy. Letting someone disrespect you time and time again will never bring you true happiness. I'm so sorry if anyone has made you feel like you don't deserve better. That is a very sweet comment. And I agree. Like, it's something like for somebody to step out. I understand, like, loving your marriage, loving your husband, all of that. He stepped out once. Okay, so you said, let me forgive him, let me move on. This man done stepped out multiple times. It's like, when is enough gonna be enough, sis? When are you going to stand up and say, do you know what, enough is enough? This is not okay. That's the question. Like she told Carlos, Claudia, and Dustin on Carlos' YouTube channel, when asked about how Glenn was doing, her response was, Glenn is healthy. To me, that's a code for they're not together and Glenn is living his life by himself. Now, if it means she has forgiven, I will be shocked. Girl, I would not be shocked about nothing. The fact that even Marie is back with her ex, I would not be shocked about nothing with these people. Y'all keep pinpointing when it's really everyone is involved. You're treating this like she is in the wrong. Your husband is the weapon. Sometimes you're saying no weapon, but that man is the weapon that is formed against you, that is causing you to not prosper. Okay. We get it if he's allowed this to be a thing. However, finding pleasure in another woman's pain is just as sick. I agree. I hate when we blame the woman. Latrice sat there laughing and smiling about the situation. And prior to the party, she acted as if she didn't know how to approach it. That question was loaded. Thank you. This is exactly how I feel. That question was loaded with intent and hurtfulness. Mandy was waiting on the perfect time to unleash that information, not because she wanted to be aware, but because she wanted to see her hurt. Agreed. Trish definitely knew, but Tisha shouldn't expect loyalty from anyone but her husband, who sadly continues to play in her face and embarrass her every chance she gets. Now, I disagree with this because it's like you can expect loyalty from your friend and your husband. It doesn't have to be one over the other. You can expect loyalty from the husband, the no good for anything cheating husband, and you can expect loyalty from your friend as well. Two different situations, but loyalty all the same. Someone said, see, that's why I would have been Yandy in that situation. I'd have said it was me and him. You know, you like women and we're trying to try something new in our relationship. I would not keep being embarrassed on TV. That is hilarious. I don't care how much y'all don't like this woman. This was messed up. I agree. Even if you guys don't like her, to give her a heads up and be a misdirection is nasty work. Why does she keep bringing up stuff these ladies have already discussed and worked through? Answer the question and stop going in circles. Is she? She's way too good for Glennie. Stay embarrassing her. Absolutely. Girl, leave her, be quiet. This is what I said. Like, you just need to address things or not address it. If you know you're not going to do anything, stay there and be quiet. First person she blames is her castmate. I cannot. Glenn disrespects the teacher every season. Ain't nothing new. Once she recognizes her self-worth, she would leave. Until then, it is what it is. Sis, the weapon formed against you is the man you sleep next to in bed. So when you pray, just turn to him and say, Satan, get behind me and continue your prayers. Oh, my goodness. Some people have such funny ways of saying things. I love that. I don't know if she realizes people actually root for her, but not her marriage. And because of reasons like this, can't speak for anyone, but I as a person, don't enjoy seeing a man embarrass a woman, especially repeatedly. But on a reality show, you can't expect different treatment than what you are guilty of. Interesting. I don't know if this is mess even for the Bells. It's not really entertaining or positive like it once was. Baby, the pool party would have turned to a funeral real quick with me. I'm not checking no film. I'm going straight to my husband. Yep. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I am ready to go to bed. So thank you so much, everyone, for... Okay, let me just read this comment. Chantel said, Glenn has a spirit of hoeing. It will take God to perform a miracle of deliverance. And the thing with that is you need to agree to that, right? Like, I don't even know if Glenn wants to stop being in the streets. So, because at the moment it feels like he wants to be for the streets. So, until he is like, I repent, I do not want to be for the streets no more, I want to be delivered, I don't even know if the surgery can begin. So yeah, it is very, very sad. I think Letitia girl, people just want you to stand up. People just feel like people like you, but they feel like that man that you are tied to is a thorn in your side and you're refusing to see it. It's so sad because I think sometimes women block what they could potentially get benefits for or benefits to by staying with people like this. Because now you're over there crying, you're over there being embarrassed. Now you're having to be checking everybody but your man. Although she did check the man a little bit in one line, but he just feels like it's everyone's thing. Oh, they should have done this, they should have done that. Yes, I agree, they should have done all of those things. But your man should have kept it in his pants. Your man should have stayed away from the DMs. The fact that he's DMing somebody that is so close to your circle is very problematic. It's like, why? Of all the people in the world that he was trying to connect with, why did it have to be Amanda? That's a man that does not give an F. That man does not respect you. He doesn't value you. He doesn't even care about you finding out. If you can even say like, okay, he was like maybe talking to somebody like 400 miles away that is not in the circle and didn't think it was going to come around, that's still completely wrong. But I mean, to be talking to somebody who is basically close to your circle shows that he does not rate you. He is not even scared of embarrassing you. He doesn't care about embarrassing you. Absolutely doesn't care about embarrassing you. He's just like, who cares? Like, she's not going to do anything. She's not going to leave me anyway. And so it's like, when would you sit down and feel like the disrespect is enough? When will enough be enough, Letitia? I guess that's my question. When will enough be enough? Anyways, my lovelies, thank you so much for hanging with us. Thank you to everyone who left comments in the chat, everyone who liked, everyone who watched this video today or joined the live. Thank you so much. And for the replay gang, thank you so much to everyone listening. Please hit that like button and let us know what you thought of the live and whatnot. Honestly, I would have even shared the link, but I am so tired. I don't know if I am in the mood to drag this out any longer. I'm ready, low-key ready for bed. But yeah, I will put the. Let me be nice. Let me put the link for anyone who wants to come up. I'll give it about 1 minute. If nobody comes up, then I will close it out. I'll close it out. If anyone wants to say their 2 cents, here is your time. Here is your opportunity. Now is the time to speak up. If you want to speak up, if you want to join the live, now is the time. In the meantime, everyone hit that like button, hit that share button if you haven't already, so that people can find the video. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'm going to assume that nobody wants to join to say their 2 cents. Okay, it's not up to 1 minute. Let me not rush it. Let me give it 1 minute. So once is 38 past. If no one has joined, which I don't see anybody, fab. Thank you. It's like, y'all know I'm tired as well. So you're like, let me not stress her out tonight. I appreciate that. On that note, my lovelies, get some food, get some rest. Thank you for hanging with me, and I will speak to you guys probably tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know what you think. Replay gang, let us know which one of you are listening, and yeah, put your comments in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.